What's up everybody, it's Higgs from MMOplay.com and this is MMOplay Dailies. We are doing something a little bit different today. We've got a bucket full of Marvel for your face hole and we are reviewing Avengers Age of Ultron. But first, we've got a Marvel giveaway. If you're playing Marvel Heroes 2015, check out the link in the description below for information on how to win She-Hulk and go all sexy, irradiated lawyer on everybody's face. Today we are debuting a new Friday deal. We're calling it MM Movie Reviews. Let's do it. In our first episode, we are throwing a hammer at a shield with the Avengers Age of Ultron. This is a spoiler-filled review, so if you haven't seen the movie, you should probably go see it before you watch this. I am going to be spoiling pretty much the whole thing. Cool. Let's start with the good stuff. New cast members all pretty much work. The action scenes are absolutely bananas and punch you right in the face from the very beginning. Ultron is absolutely great as a villain and doesn't look like he could be the lead singer for My Chemical Romance, so that's a nice departure from Loki. The effects in this movie are very well done, as you expect they would be, and the cinematography is some of the best I think that Marvel has ever produced. I was particularly surprised by how much I liked Scarlet Witch, with the exception of one of the mind vision things that she gave, which I will discuss later in this review. I found her to be a pretty unique and interesting female influence in a team that was previously populated by only one woman who, if we're being honest, existed largely only for sex appeal. But unfortunately, we've got some big problems, and they almost all come from the writing. First though, I know that there's a 4-hour director's cut, but I don't think that it excuses these problems, alright? So that's out there. Here we go. Ruffalo and ScarJo just don't work no matter how you slice it. It was forced and it still doesn't feel right even after having seen it a few days ago. Next, why in the world did Thor have to go find the scientist, then bathe in the pool of visions to rectify things the Scarlet Witch made him see? My hunch here is that this will be resolved in the next movie or maybe the movie after that, but the more I think about it, the less sense it makes in this movie as anything other than a plot device to remove him from the story for a bit. Now, before you go all ragey on me, I know why he had to see what he saw for the future of the series, i.e. Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet. I know that. I just don't know why he had to do it now, under those circumstances, at that time. It felt weirdly placed to me. In fact, the writing in general is oddly paced, and you can definitely feel the gaps in the script from that big 4-hour director's cut that supposedly exists. On the back of that, a lot of things feel super rushed, while other things feel like they've got way too much breath. Case in point on this is Vision's entire storyline. After he appears, it seems pretty sloppy and pretty rushed, and having gone into the movie really looking forward to his appearance, I felt on the whole disappointed in the amount of screen time that he got once he actually took physical form, I guess. Additionally, I found Ultron's death to be very disappointing, so much so that it largely unraveled the successes of the character before his demise up to that point in the movie. When I saw this movie, actually, there was a very vocal young woman behind me, and she had cheered Ultron on to her partner the entire movie. You could tell she had read comics, she knew backstory stuff. She was like, yeah, this is great. When Ultron died, she turned to the guy and in reference to the death said, more like Age of Sucktron. I don't think I could agree with that statement more in reference to his death. I was completely let down also by Hulk's entire storyline, and I, for one, did not really appreciate the Hawkeye backstory in this context, as it seemed like a clear trick to make me think that he was going to die in this movie so that they could sneak in Quicksilver's death with a little bit of surprise, I guess. With this kind of movie, you have to ask, is it as good as the first one? To me, nah, not even close. The brilliance of the first Avengers script was the writing, the pacing, the interaction with the characters. Aside from an over excess of humor that didn't really land all the time for me, the interactions between characters in this movie is nothing really that special, and at times is actually a big distraction. Case in point, Ruffalo. But as a sequel in the middle of a setup to Civil and Infinity Wars, it works pretty well. It's also super entertaining, which is nice. And if you're looking for a popcorn movie that's not going to ask you to feel or think too much, it's pretty wonderful. In the end, I give the Avengers Age of Ultron 7 experience points out of 10. So what do you think? Did you love this movie? Did you hate it? Or was it somewhere in between? Leave a comment and let me know. I have been the Higgs from MMOplay.com, and I'll see you Monday.